do this a few times a week. Whether it's walking down the beach or admiring a beautiful tree, the world is so full of beauty. In the United States alone, we have countless national park systems which capture this essence. To name a few, Yellowstone in Wyoming, the Grand Canyon in Arizona, and Blue Ridge National Park in North Carolina. And we only have one person to thank for this, Theodore Roosevelt. It wasn't until my junior year of high school when I really began to understand and appreciate what this president did for us. Prior to this, I knew a little bit, but it wasn't until AP US History when I really began to appreciate what he did. Theodore Roosevelt was essential in shaping and creating the future of America regarding the environment. As a young man in his early 20s, he was a bear hunter. He was nicknamed Teddy Bear because of his hunting background. Because of his background and experience, that helped shape his love and desire to save the environment. One of his most famous quotes is, "I have always said I would never have been president if it had not been for my experience in North Dakota." With that being said, he felt like it was his duty and responsibility to save as much wildlife as he could. The National Park System's government website states that when Roosevelt became president in 1901, he used his authority to establish 150 national forests, 51 national bird reserves, 4 national game reserves, 5 national parks, and 18 national monuments. In total, he saved approximately 230 million acres of land. Coming into presidency, there was no laws, rules, or regulations set up for the environment. So Roosevelt made it his mission to create as many laws as he could. Before he was president, the American population would buy acres of land and immediately cut down all the vegetation and began building. Have you ever thought about how on the East Coast, there's only one big national park, which is Central Park, but then in the West Coast, there's countless? That's because when the United States was first being developed, we went through an industrialization phase, which means that its focus was on building factories and expansion. Roosevelt saw this as an opportunity to save as much of the wildlife as he could. Unfortunately, when he came into presidency, most of the East Coast had already been torn down and built upon. So when his bills were passed, he focused as most of his priority as he could on saving the West. Since his laws and bills were passed, Theodore Roosevelt's accomplishments has benefited the United States greatly. For example, traveling and vacationing. With that, American families will go to great lengths to travel across the United States to see these national park systems. They have the opportunity of teaching their children about the country they live in, and as well as building appreciation for the environment. With traveling and vacationing comes an economic boost. Families who travel in RVs spend their money on gas, renting for the RV, food that they buy for their families, and as well as tourist shops that come along with traveling. The National Park System government website says that the Grand Canyon alone has an annual income of $467,257,000 and employs 7,000 Americans. On a national scale, the park system creates an annual income of $13 billion. With both of these factors combined, the American population and as well as economic boost, they have both benefited the United States greatly. Theodore Roosevelt was very instrumental in creating the United States, for shaping the future of the United States. And it ends with a quote with, "The beauty and the charm of the wilderness are his for the asking, for the edges of the wilderness lie close beside the beaten roads of the present travel." Theodore Roosevelt.